10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
With the playing of our national anthem, and so it begins. The 2019 Boys IHSAA State Basketball Championships, and we're on hand tonight at Carmel High School for a doubleheader. Westfield and Hamilton Southeastern in game number 1. Game number 2 should be a beauty likewise, as the Anderson Indians will be in to take on Fishers. Along with Will Wolford handling our video tonight, Brad Silbert along the sidelines, our executive producer, Rick Vanderweilen. I'm Jerry Baker alongside Big Jan Bozier. Jan? This is what we've been waiting for all these several months now, and it's hard to believe that it's here, but it's tournament time.
Gives me goose nipples, Blake. I told you I used to sit right over there for 25 years, every Carmel sectional, and watch the Shepherds shoot it before they even got to the gym. I love it. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Well, Bill and Dave, when they came out of the tunnel, it was within their range.
They were launching them.
They were launching them. All right, game number one tonight is Westfield and Hamilton Southeastern. Westfield comes in at 12-10. Hamilton Southeastern at 14-8. And already a tough situation if you're a Hamilton Southeastern fan, because they're if you're a Westfield fan, because Ken Hampton is going to be in charge of the ball club tonight, replacing Shane Sumter. What is that all about?
I'm not really sure on the details. All I know, he's not going to coach. We'll just leave it at that tonight. I believe he may have gotten the technical, and when you do, the game before you have to set out or something of that nature. Nevertheless, this team, hey, you've got to play. And he may not be here, but he's guided you all this time, so you've got to do everything that he's taught you up until this point.
He got a technical in the last game, and as Jen points out, the IHSA rules say that you've got to sit out a game. Same thing if you're a player, so
right.
it's the same thing for the head coach. Let's talk about Westfield for a moment. They are 12-10. This is a ball club that struggled this year. In fact, if you look at all four of the teams in this particular sectional, Jen, it's pretty much wide open because nobody's going to be dominant right now.
Yeah, no question about it. But Westfield has had one of the better seasons they've had in a long time. Now, they only lost to Southeastern to 11 at Southeastern. So you got a neutral court, you got nothing to lose, you can play loose. Hey, they shoot the three pretty well. They shoot it at 38%.
Hamilton Southeastern's 14-8 on the year. That's not a typical Hamilton Southeastern record either.
Well, they play one of the toughest schedules around. So they're battle tested. Let's see how they come out here,
All right, the game is underway, and Hamilton Southeastern gets the basketball to begin this game. They'll be the visitors on the scoreboard. They are the visiting team. Westfield is the home team. Hamilton Southeastern is averaging 65.3. That's not bad. The problem is, Jan, they give up 60.5 points a game. They simply can't stop anybody.
Yeah, defensively, and they're in a 2-3 zone right now. Southeastern with the much bigger team.
Here's the first shot that goes over the top of the backboard and out of bounds. Hamilton Southeastern comes into the ball game, as we mentioned, at a 14-8 record. They are coached by Brian Satterfield. Brian Satterfield, in his 18th year at HSC, a record of 291 and 133. And Westfield, as we mentioned, Shane Sumter is normally the coach with a record of 39 and 52 in 4 years at Westfield. So the first couple of shots of the game are off the mark, and Hamilton Southeastern gets the ball once again. Starting lineup with Noah Smith, Aaron Etherington, Chris Grubbs, Vinny Basila, and Maybor Majak. Those are the starting guys for Hamilton Southeastern. Here's the long-range shot again, no good. And the rebound taken down inside. This is their big man. He's got the bucket right out front.
Well, the key for Westfield is they've got to compete on the boards with Southeastern. They're undersized, but they've got to be able to at least match the Royals on the board.
Chris Grubbs with the first couple of points of the game. He's listed at 6'5", Jan. Out there amongst those guys, he looks like he's about 6'7" or 6'8". Looks like a lot taller than 6'5". Right at the free throw line now for the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. Here's the pass underneath. He's got it again, Grubbs does. Puts it right back up, and it's off the mark. Second, it's Major Majak with the basket. Now the basket at the other end for Westfield. Put up and good by Braden Smith.
Westfield answers. For Westfield to stay in here, I talked about they've got to match the Royals on the board, and they've got to get a good shot. In a lot of cases, that may be a three, Bake.
Well, the reason that he looks a lot taller than 6'5", that's not who that is. Number one, here's Noah Smith getting inside now for Hamilton Southeastern. Smith getting his first 2 points of the game, and the lead goes 4-2 now, the first lead change of the game. And the first lead now for Westfield.
Yeah, Majak, they have him listed at 7 foot, so he's a handful in that middle.
Yeah, he's going to drive the offense and the defense for both these ball clubs. Here's the rebound taken down inside by Etherington. Averages just under 5 rebounds per game. Long-range shot off the back of the rim and no good. And Westfield again comes off with the rebound, and here they come in a hurry. And a whistle and a foul, the first stoppage of play in the first couple of minutes of this ball game. And I believe they got Priscilla. Yeah, it's going to be on Benny. I mentioned the starting lineup for Hamilton Southeastern Westfield, going with Banks, Braden Smith, Benji Welch, Caleb Welch, and Camden Simons. At the line now is Caleb Welch. Welch, a good free throw shooter at 77% on the season.
1 and 2. And right now, Southeastern really, and you see this early in the sectional, Southeastern shooting the three awful early. That's really not what they want to do.
Here's the turnover now, and at the other end, they got the bucket.
Basket by Banks, number 10.
He is their leading scorer with 18.4 points per game. 6-foot senior. Dropping it inside, and then May back again. He's got it. It's going to count.
Yeah, there's only one thing you can do there is not let him get the ball, because if he's inside, he's the same level as the rim, so you're probably not going to block that.
So another lead change. Second lead change of the ball game now, and Majak will go to the line. 7-foot junior misses the free throw. Not a good free throw shooter on the year, only at 52%. 4:45 to go in the opening period here at Carmel High School. Sectional tournament play just getting underway all up and down the state. Nice fake and a driving layup that's no good that time, taken up by Braden Smith, the freshman, one of the starting freshmen for Westfield.
Yeah, he's a good player. Great shot, just didn't get the roll to go in.
Long range now is Etherington. He's the top scorer for this Hamilton Southeastern club at 14.6 per game. Matt scramble underneath, and Westfield will come out of there with it. Pull up three-pointer on the way. He got it. Long range shot that time by Caleb Welch, who has 58 three-pointers on the season. And he's second on the ball club in that category, believe it or not.
You know, Westfield looks kind of loose. They really do. They're playing hard, and they're looking pretty comfortable. That's a good start for the Shamrocks.
3 lead changes on this game now. Westfield's lead is 8-6. That equals their big lead of the game, and only 2. In fact, Hamilton Southeastern also was led by a couple of points in this contest.
And once again, the Royals settle for a long three, and it doesn't go.
Hamilton Southeastern on defense now as Westfield will bring the ball across the timeline and set up the offense. Looking near side, open man, Welch. Caleb gets inside and gets the bucket.
Boy, that young man's not afraid at all, Big.
He has 6 of the 10 points on the board right now, and a timeout's going to be taken by Hamilton Southeastern. Right now, they don't have an answer for Caleb Welch. Back in a moment, this is the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Here's Oladipo for the lead. Indiana has the lead.
To all the Pacers fans in the stands, you are who we play for.
You make us jump a little higher.
Dig a little deeper.
What a block by Turner.
It really is. And play a little harder.
Boom, baby! We're better because you show up to every game.
And together, we grow basketball here.
For ticket packages and more, go to pacers.com/tickets.
Westfield Shamrocks at 12-10 of the year. Last year were 10-13. They lost to Carmel 33-24 in the opening game of the sectional. Their 6th consecutive losing season. They'll turn that around this year. Hamilton Southeastern 17-8 a year ago, lost to Carmel also in the opening game of the sectional, 62-56. These two ball clubs met earlier in the year. Back on the 11th of January, Hamilton Southeastern at home against Westfield beat them 67-56. For HSC, Benny Busilla, 17 points, hit 6 out of 7 field goals, 3 out of 3 pointers, 5 out of 6. Braden Smith led Westfield in that game with 22. He hit 8 out of 16 field goals. Zach Banks was 16. Caleb Welch was 16. So they spread the wealth around. Here's Majak inside for his 6th point of the game. Well, there's no answer for him, Jen.
I can only dream about being able to turn around and look at a rim at eye level. That makes it pretty easy. You got to deny that, Big.
He's only a junior, 7-foot junior, 21 games this year. Not a big scorer. He averages just under 9 points a game, already with a half a dozen, but his ball club is down by 2. Westfield with the basketball, 2 hours left. And the clock showing 2.5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter of this ball game. Here's the long-range three from outside that's no good off the attempt that time by Braden Smith. Well, it's one and done for both these clubs right now. Deep left side, now put it back out to Majak again. Majak. Young man from the Sudan. And again, Jen, nobody on offensive rebounding. Just a little floater right out front. And a good-looking shot that time by Banks for his second bucket, his fourth point. Well, he goes back to 4 again, but the clock showing right at 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter of this game.
Yeah, you really like that way Westfield continues to attack the paint. A game in which I thought that's what the Royals probably would do.
Here's a traveling violation. Not many turnovers so far in this game. And the clock now at a minute 51. Westfield will get the basketball. They average 60.3 points a game, but like HSC, they have trouble defensively. They allow 58.4, so there's not much difference between the offense and the defense. You just can't do that.
Landon Morris comes in for Majak now, so the height goes down a little bit right now, Bake.
Let's see how this shakes out. Westfield now with the white uniforms with the basketball. They are up by 12, up by 4 by 12 to 8 score. This is Banks. He has 4 of the points now for Westfield. Banks will back it out. They'll set the offense up again, run it right side to Caleb Welch, the senior. Pull-up shot, long range, is nothing but net. Good-looking shot that time by Patchett. And his first attempt as he comes in off the bench, a 6'1 junior, averaging 2.5 points and just under 2 rebounds per game. 1 minute to go, first quarter.
Well, that shot by Etherington wasn't even close. Well, I'll tell you, quite honestly, the Royals are flat, and Westfield's playing incredibly loose.
Camden Simons back onto the court now for Westfield. Substitution now for Hamilton Southeastern. Bradley Beeman, the 6'1 junior, comes onto the court for HSC. Chris Chin is in also now for Westfield. He is a 5'10 junior. And we're inside a minute now in the opening quarter of play. The winner, of course, advances. The loser, that's it for the season. Good defense outside as Chin got in trouble that time. Comes to Simons on the near side. Simons out of quarter court. Good defense employed now by HSC.
The Royals have really picked it up, and they need to. When you're not playing great offense, pick it up defense.
Yeah, what they've done is shove the offense out almost to the timeline.
Yeah, if I'm Westfield, they're doing the right thing. You want to play for the last shot here. You got a 7-point lead. No sense in giving the Royals another shot. But the Royals, like you said, Baker, has really picked it up defensively.
Westfield can score. They've been over 70 points on 5 different occasions this season. Now we're down to 22 seconds to go in the opening quarter of play. They've got a 7-point lead right now. Does Westfield over Hamilton Southeastern. Now we're down to 9 seconds. Clock running down inside 5 right now. They drive to the hoop, they drop it off, and the foul's going to be called with 2.9 remaining in this first quarter of play. Really good job that time of using the clock for Westfield.
Absolutely, they got the shot they wanted, and then Southeastern fouls. Backside defense did not recover in time, and boy, if you're Westfield with 2.9 seconds, you're going to get a look at a couple free throws here, and boy, they can really extend this lead, Make.
Foul was on Hornbuckle, his first foul of the game.
Number 30 at the free throw line.
It's Simons, who was hadn't been to the line much this year, 9 of 16 on the season.
Yep, and Simons only shoots it at about 43%, and he misses both of these.
1 second to go. The shot is good. If it goes, it's way off the mark, and that's the end of the first quarter. And Westfield looking awfully strong. We mentioned they average 60.3, and they're out front by 7 points right now, 15-8 on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
For the first time in forever, I feel like us. I feel like we're back to that place where we know what each other's thinking and feeling.
You know, sometimes I think we don't have enough insurance. And then I think maybe we have too much.
This is no moment for insurance. Let us help you think about it. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
The end of the first quarter, and Westfield out in front by a 15-8 score, Jen. Westfield, a 12-10 ball club, struggling to stay above 500. And this is a ball club that it's kind of scary because HSC has been so strong in this particular area, this conference, for so long. And Westfield come in, and you pointed out, everybody's 0-0 right now.
Yeah, it really is. And you know, you look at Southeastern's schedule here. Now, they've lost 3 out of their last 4, but they lost to number 1, number 11, and number 13. But still, a loss is a loss. And psychologically, sometimes that can play with you a little bit. So right now, Westfield's playing super relaxed. Southeastern needs to get back to what they do good, and that's penetrating the paint, getting to the free throw line.
Westfield lost 10 games this year, but their average loss was 11.4, just a little over 11 points per game on their average loss. They had a 26-point loss to Carmel, at Carmel, here on this court, that kind of skewed the numbers high. Westfield again in the white uniforms. They are the home team for this particular game of the sectional here at Carmel High. Now Hamilton Southeastern, they're just chasing them all over the court right now. Good defense by HSC, and they're going to need it right now, down by 7.
Yeah, you're going to get back in this game by your defense because their offense right now is struggling.
Banks getting inside. Here's the shot off the mark. The rebound fought for and picked up by Hamilton Southeastern into the hands that time of Bradley Beeman. And Beeman had it knocked away, gets it back, comes right side, a little 15-footer, and they got it on the right side baseline. And a good-looking shot that time by Landon Morris.
Good jump shot from that right corner. 7:05 left in this second period. Boy, Southeastern needed that one, Bake.
Norris only a sophomore, and it cuts the lead down to 5, but 1 minute gone here in this second quarter. They double team out high, make the steal. Here's the layup inside by Morris. Morris with back-to-back buckets. This is a young man who averages 8 points a game coming off the bench. He's played in 20 games this year. Second of the ball club in block shots with 27, so he can get up and go. And a timeout will be taken by Hamilton Southeastern.
Well, anytime you struggle in a ball game, especially in tournament play, get your defense to get you back in this, and that's exactly what has happened here with the Royals. Morris really bringing a lift here to the Royals with his defense, and then 2 breakaway buckets. Now just a 3-point game at 15-12 with 6:45 back here in this second.
Westfield, a member of the Hoosier Cross-Code Conference, and had a good year in the conference. They were 1-6 in conference play. Unranked, of course, Sagarin has them ranked number 65 in the state. Hamilton Southeastern ranked number 16 in the state. They finished the year unranked in the Associated Press poll. Started the year in the IBCA poll, which ranks all the teams in one class, 12th, and finished 15th.
Well, one thing Westfield cannot do here is dribble, and as soon as I say that, they lose it again dribbling.
And they get the bucket, and the bucket's going to count, and a foul's going to be called against Westfield.
Well, Etherington took it strong to the hoop that time, and he can do that. He can use his height and strength as a big advantage.
Westfield foul was on Banks, by the way. That is his first, and at the line for Hamilton Southeastern, Aaron Etherington completes the 3-point play. His first points, well, the ball game. Aaron's the top scorer for the Royals with 14.6 points per game. They have 3 players who average in double figures. Smith with 11 per game and Chris Gubbs at 12.2.
And how quick was the Royals able to get back in this thing with their defense?
Absolutely, and the tie is only the second time so far in the contest. We're tied at 15. Long range shot, long rebound, off into the hands of Hamilton Southeastern again. So they'll set the offense up one more time. Noah Smith acting as the point guard to set things up for HSC. Working alongside Aaron Etherington at that guard spot. Gets inside and somehow Smith got the bucket.
Yeah, and the Royals, that bucket by Grubbs, the Royals are doing exactly what you want to do on the zone. That 2-3, they're getting the ball to the middle, and when you get the ball inside that zone, that's where you get your best looking shot.
So the clock's showing 5 minutes and 39 seconds to go in the first half of this ball game. Going back onto the court now for Westfield, Mason Brooks, a 6'5 sophomore. A lot of substitutions early in this contest, Jen. I'm a little surprised because normally when things tense up like at a sectional, you don't see him going very deep on the roster. Not the case here, though. 17-15 ball game now as the third lead change as Hamilton Southeastern coach lead change has taken the lead again.
5-second call. Westfield cannot continue to dribble to prosperity here. They've turned it over 3 and 4 times simply because of dribbling. You got to reverse the ball and get ball movement, but not by dribbling.
So with 5:15 to go now in the first half, Hamilton Southeastern with that turnover comes back on offense. They were down by as many as 7. And as Jan points out, the defense is what turned this whole thing around.
Yeah, no question about it. Westfield was not able to handle the pressure and allow this thing to momentum change back to the Royals.
Here's the long three, no good. The rebound scooped up. They got a breakaway now, hitting up court. Here is Braden Smith, and he gets the roll.
Well, Smith did a great job of recognizing the rebound and took off. And any type of those baskets Westfield can get, that's cherry on the sundae.
Smith now with 4 points of the game with 4:35 to go. We are tied for the third, make it the fourth time at 17. HSC driving hard to the hoop, drop it off, and comes back out long range again. Into the lane, the ball knocked away, going out of bounds. Who's got it? HSC, I guess, will maintain control. Couple of more subs coming in for Westfield. Likewise, a single sub for Hamilton Southeastern. Well, Jen, they're really shuffling guys in and out in a hurry in this contest.
Well, I think Westfield's trying to keep bodies fresh because they think they have to be able to pressure as much as they can and transition, so you need fresh legs.
4:23 here in the first half. The winner will advance, and we'll talk more about the bracketing here as time goes on. Westfield, the winner here, will play Noblesville in the Friday night contest.
There it is in the middle of that zone again.
And the fourth shot is no good, but the tip-up is, let's see who they give that to, I believe.
I believe it's Etherington.
I think it is too.
Yep.
Let's see. Yep, Aaron getting the bucket.
Well, Westfield got a great shot, but didn't finish. Here come the Royals.
And the putback is up and good. Jan, they gave that last basket to Landon Morris. The one that we thought went to Etherington. They gave it to Morris, yeah.
All right.
So we'll stay with that.
Well, Morris just scored there. He should have 6.
Here's the good-looking defensive play again by Hamilton Southeastern. That block turned in that time by Benny Busilla. Nice spin move inside. Ball is on the deck. No basket. Forget the basket. Official call prior to the shot.
Well, Bake, as always, you're right on top of your game. Morris, they did indeed give it to him. Took it away from Anderson.
Got a foul on Chris Ginn for Westfield. That'll be number 1 on him, and the team's third in this quarter. So no penalty shots as of yet.
Boy, this clock at 3:17. This game's moving fast.
It is moving in a hurry. It's interesting that Majak is now back into the lineup, Jen. They sat him out for, about a half a quarter, I guess.
Well, yeah, at least that. They set him some of the first and a lot of this second, so he was an impact player early.
He really was. With 3:08 to go on the first half of this ball game, and a 21-17 lead for Hamilton Southeastern. And that equals their biggest lead of the evening at 4. Now the clock ticks off inside 3 minutes. Westfield at the guard spot with Caleb Welch, a 6'1 senior. They get it down to the baseline. They let him get in there, Jan. Then they got all kinds of dark jerseys just go and shut off that baseline.
Well, Westfield's got to stay close. Westfield still too much dribbling for my like, but they've got to stay within striking distance here.
They come near side to patch it, and Hamilton Southeastern
3 second on
will get called for a 3-second lane violation. That's twice now they called that against him.
Yeah, and those are unforced turnovers, Bake. Westfield's got a shot at winning this. You can't have unforced turnovers.
Westfield down 21-17. And they've scored only 2 points in this quarter, and there's only 2.5 minutes to go in the quarter.
Yeah, exactly right.
I hesitated, Jam, because I wanted to double check. I didn't realize that.
Nick, you're right on your game
Yeah,
tonight,
right. Yeah, right.
2 for Smith, and then that's it.
Here's the big guy inside, and he will not get the bucket. He will draw the foul. And Majak is going to go to the line now. He had 6 points in the first quarter of this game and has not scored since, but they took him out and sat him down for quite a period of time. He'll go to the line on that foul by Camden Simons, which is number 2 on him. Seven points for Majak. Averages 8.7. Obviously leads the team in block shots with 29 and averages 6 rebounds per game. And I got a feeling, Jan, the reason those numbers are down a little bit, they're not what you might expect from a 7-footer. I got a feeling they've had to, throughout the year, kind of pace him a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. And they honestly wanted to put more pressure full court, so that was a great time to do both.
So the 6-point lead now for Hamilton Southeastern after trailing by 7. Minute 58 to go here in the first half of this ball game.
Much better ball movement out of Westfield. Lot better movement with the ball.
They break inside. Here's the left-handed scoop shot that's off the mark. A scramble is on. It comes off to Hamilton Southeastern with a minute 42 to go in the first half. Here's the lob inside to Majak. And they'll flip it back out for the three-pointer that's no good. It's chased down, but maybe a foul. And I believe they're going to get Westfield on the offensive board that time on a shove-off.
Yeah, and I think this is a good call. I happen to be watching it. Sometimes you get away with those, sometimes you don't. And this time he did not. That foul's on Welsh. He clearly pushed off. I seen it as well.
Yeah, they're showing the foul on Brooks.
Well, that's not who I seen push.
No, I agree with that. I thought sure as the world it was Welch that shoved off. In fact, I think he thought so too.
He did.
So it'll be on Brooks. That'll be 1 on him. And a traveling violation with a minute 28 to go now here in the first half.
Yeah, so there must have been 2 people shove off.
But I was watching Welch. And
I was watching him, and I go, oh, man, that's obvious. They called it.
He had his head down like, I did it.
Uh-oh, I got caught. A lot more pushing than you ever know. It's just if you get caught is the problem.
So we're down to a minute 10 to go now in the first half of this game. Noblesville awaits the winner. Here's the long-range 3, deep right side, and a beauty by Eli Patchett.
Yeah, that's 2 of those for him, and that's big.
He had 16 three-pointers coming into the game all season long, but he's got 2 tonight.
Yeah, those are both huge, and the Rocks are well within striking distance.
Well, they've cut the lead to 3 now at 23-20 with 45 seconds to go. They'll try to get 3 at the other end. Won't go. Knocked out of bounds and last touch by Westfield. Hamilton Southeastern basketball with 43 seconds remaining.
Now this is good officiating. The underneath official didn't get a clear look at it. Instead of making the wrong call, she calls for help. That's exactly the way you should do it, officiating. Great job by the officials.
43 seconds to go. First half of this ball game. At halftime, we'll swing down to the court, and Kyle will get a chance to talk to the leading coach. In this particular case, it's going to be Hamilton Southeastern after coming back from 7 points down.
And it looks like Southeastern with 27 seconds is going to be pretty content with a 3-point lead to take this last shot, Big.
Clock winding down. It's down to 20 seconds to go in the first half. They've got a 3-point lead, 23-20. With the basketball out high is Noah Smith. Smith operating at the point guard. They look toward the bench on the far side. Chris Grubbs is likewise out there. Smith gets inside, gets the layup, no good. Majak gets the rebound. And let's see if we're going to count the bucket. No signal yet, Jen.
Yeah, I think she did. She said count it.
All right, so the foul will go with 2.2 seconds to go and a chance for Majak to get a 3-point play here.
Wow.
Foul is on Brayton Smith, number 1 on him.
Here's what you got to do if you're Westfield. You have got to put a body in him so obvious that when he goes up, you've got to force that official to make him believe he's on his back. Sell that by Westfield. Get your tail end into him hard, or he's just going to sit there tipping him all night long.
Couple of subs now for Hamilton Southeastern, one of whom is Bradley Beeman, 6'1 junior, coming back onto the court now. And Here is Majak at the free throw line. Majak with 10 points, make it 11. 2.2 seconds to go in the first half of tonight's sectional game here at Carmel High School. Westfield in the white uniforms, Hamilton Southeastern in dark. At one time, Westfield with a 7-point lead, and they were dominant. And then, as Jan pointed out, that defense by HSE got them back into the contest. Got to hurry. They can get a shot away. It's good if it goes. It hit the front of the rim.
Not a bad shot.
And at halftime, Hamilton Southeastern, after trailing 15-8 at the end of the first quarter, has come back to take a 26-20 lead heading into the locker room at halftime. Let's get down to the sideline now. Brad Silbert with the coach.
Thanks a lot, Jerry. Coach, kind of a slow start in the first quarter, but you came back gangbusters there in the second quarter. What kind of adjustments do you make?
Well, we didn't move the ball very well, and we just didn't knock down shots. I mean, when you're not knocking down shots, it's going to make the game real tough for you. But I thought our defensive energy helped pick us up and got some easy buckets, and then that carried us to get the lead. The biggest thing is we got to come out and play really solid the second half.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Back to you, Jerry.
All right, thank you, Brad, very much. Again, we're at halftime with the score. Hamilton Southeastern 26 and Westfield 20. And we will take a break, come back, and take a look at some of the first half numbers and kind of set up this Carmel sectional for you. Halftime again, 26-20, Hamilton Southeastern over Westfield at the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
You're good at you. You've been you for years. And we're good at your insurance. You're good at laundry basketball. We're good at your insurance. You're good at stopping the gas pump on a 00. We're good at your insurance. You're good at making funny face sandwiches. And we're good at your insurance. So start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
We're back now again at Carmel High School for the sectional tournament activity. One of two games tonight. Fisher and Anderson in the wings, awaiting to move on ahead to play Carmel on the Friday night game. The winner of tonight's game, HSC and Westfield, will take on Noblesville. Let's head back down to the sidelines again. Here's Brad Silbert. Brad.
Thanks a lot, Jerry. We have the honor of standing here next to Coach Chris Huppenthal, the head coach of the Hamilton Southeastern Lady Royals, who last Saturday accomplished something after 23 or 24 seasons, put a capper on it and got the state championship. Chris, how does it feel?
It's great. It's great. You know, what really feels good is seeing the satisfaction on our kids' face, seeing the joy and the accomplishment that they feel now.
Tell us about the season. When did you start feeling like this was a team that could go all the way?
Right after Christmas, when we played North Central, went to their place and beat them, and then 6 days later turned around, beat defending state champs Warren Central on their home floor. And then we end up with Westfield, Lawrence, North Zionsville, and Pike. And that was a stretch where in those 6 games, I thought if we went 4-2, it would be great heading into the tournament. Coming out of those games 6-0, this is all right. We got a great shot.
26-1 is quite an accomplishment with only one loss, and that came out of state.
It did. And our kids did a great job all year. And, you know, everybody asked me how good that Kentucky team is, and I wouldn't sell anything short. They're pretty good. But, you know, we did some things now in Kentucky that we wouldn't normally do if we were in a conference game or a rivalry game or things like that. So, you know, that's just one of those that we found some things out about ourselves. It could have been a turning point in the season also.
Lawrence North, you played him for the second time Saturday night. First time was at home, an 11-point victory. Second time for the championship, another 11-point victory. Talk a little bit about that team.
Well, they're a great team, and I thought Coach Kiffin's game plan to try and dribble penetrate against us was great. Their zone caused us problems at times, but in the second half we made some adjustments and got Sydney in the heart of the zone, and we really wanted to. And then she was able to maneuver in there, and we tried to move her in different spots. I thought that was causing them some problems. But they're an outstanding team. They're very young. They're going to have a lot of people back. But, you know, hopefully or thankfully for one weekend in February, it was our night, and I think the best team won.
Well, congratulations to everybody here at IHSA TV and Hamilton County Television. It was a great season for you guys, and we appreciate your time. Thanks very much, Coach.
I thank you guys for covering us. I mean, that meant a lot to our girls.
Back to you, Jerry.
All right, thanks very much, Brad. Quite a celebration. Of course, now the HSE boys are trying to duplicate that if at all possible. And at halftime, they've got themselves a half a dozen point lead, 26-20. Hey, Jan and I'll be back in just a minute. Take a look at the first half numbers for you. And again, 26-20, the halftime score. Hamilton Southeastern over Westfield of the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
The Pacers want you to feel the excitement and be a part of the action. Plan your company, school, or team outing today. As a group, you can play where the pros play. Perform in front of thousands. Pump up the crowd. High-five the stars. Bring the noise. Dance your heart out. Take home a part of the game. Great experiences are available for your group. Go to pacers.com/groups.
Never miss a big game by downloading the IHSAA TV app for free on any device. For your iPhone or Apple TV, check the App Store. On your Android or Android TV device, load up the Google Play Store. Have a Roku or Amazon Fire Stick? We have the app for you. Check us out on Facebook Live, Twitter, or YouTube Live by searching for IHSAA TV. Or as always, click to IHSAATV.org for quick and easy access to your favorite IHSAA live and archived events.
You're good at you. You've been you for years. And we're good at your insurance. You're good at laundry basketball. We're good at your insurance. You're good at stopping the gas pump on a 00. We're good at your insurance. You're good at making funny face sandwiches. And we're good at your insurance. So start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
We are back now at Carmel High School. The sectional tournament getting underway. Doubleheader tonight where the Hamilton Southeastern Westfield matchup right now. To follow, Fishers and Anderson will cover that game likewise. Tonight's winner will play Noblesville in the first game on Friday. And the second game winner will take on Carmel in the second game on Friday. Jan, this is the second time that these two ball clubs have met this year. They met back on the 11th of January at Hamilton Southeastern. Hamilton Southeastern winning it 67-56, and that's pretty much where we are right now. The thing that's kind of weird about this whole game, the game started out with Westfield on offense just running away. They had a 7-point lead, very dominant, and then the HSC defense, and that's been the key to the first half of the game. They came out, almost shoved Westfield's offense clear out to the timeline, and that's where we are right now. That's the reason they have a half a dozen point lead.
Yeah, that's a great point, Vic. Satterfield made a great move. This team was not clicking on offense at all, and he made a move to go full court, put pressure on the half court, and his defense, as you called it multiple times during that stretch, really got intense. And they got a couple breakaways, and just like that, they're back into it. Then their offense start clicking, and I said a couple times during the broadcast, Westfield has to stay within striking distance, and by that I mean somewhere 10 or under.
I was just looking here, Jen, in that win by Hamilton Southeastern over Westfield, 67-56 back on the 11th of January. Vinny Basilla led Hamilton Southeastern with 17 points. He had 6 out of 7 field goals and 5 out of 6 three-pointers. He has not scored in the first half of this game tonight, so their leading scorer in the regular season has been shut out so far tonight.
Well, the semi-good news, kind of bad news. Good news is if he can get back on track, that's exactly what they need. But on the other hand, still pretty close game, so didn't hurt him as much as you normally would when your leading scorer struggles.
And Braden Smith led Westfield in that regular season game with 22, 8 of 16 field goals. He has only 4 points in the first half. Zach Banks had 16 in that game. He has only 4 at halftime. Caleb Welch was 16 also, and Caleb has only 6 points at halftime. So the scoring has really been shut down in the first half of this game for Westfield, especially in that second quarter when they scored only 5 points. Back in a moment. Second half about set to get underway on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Here's the individual scoring. First off for Westfield, they had 6 points each from Caleb Welch and Eli Patchett off the bench. And then 4 points each from their starters, Zach Banks and Braden Smith. And again, as I pointed out, Westfield had only 5 points in the second quarter of this game. Hamilton Southeastern led by Babor Majak, their big 7-footer, 11 points. He had a 6-point first quarter, 5 more in the second. He's 3 out of 4 from the free throw line. And also scoring for Hamilton Southeastern, 3 points for Aaron Etherington, who averages 14-6, by the way, their top scorer. Noah Smith, who averages 11, had only 2. And Chris Gubbs, who averages 12.2, had likewise only 2. Low-scoring games, had 26-20 at the half.
Well, the good news for Southeastern is Majak, who only averages just under 9, has kind of led them with 11. So kind of an interesting game. The leading scorers don't really produce. Guys who didn't, does. It'll be, and Westfield still within striking distance, only down 6. If they can shoot the 3. Now, going into this half, Westfield had to learn a lesson. You cannot dribble against the pressure of the guards of Southeastern. When you move the ball, you can get a pretty good shot.
And again, we'll point out again, Westfield is being coached by one of the assistants, Ken Hampton. The regular head coach, Shane Sumter, is ineligible in this game. He got a tech in their last regular season game, that game against Mount Vernon Fortville. They lost 58-53, so he has to sit out a game. So they are somewhat shy, if you will, in the coaching bracket, but I guarantee you, he was with the team all week. He's just not here.
Yeah, sure. And they've been coached by him all year long.
And right away, Hamilton Southeastern gets inside, and Noah Smith picks up his second bucket. He had a field goal back in the first quarter, and that has been it to this point of the game. And the lead goes to 8, and that's the biggest lead of the game now for either ball club. Hamilton Southeastern in dark uniforms, Westfield in the home white.
Well, Smith made a great cut to the bucket. You know, he averages 11 and still just 4, so he's still got a lot of offense left in him.
You really wonder, Jan, who wins a low-scoring game like this, because neither of these ball clubs particularly proficient on defense. They both give up 60 points a game.
Yeah, the Royals are averaging about 65, so they're a little higher pace. Probably the lower pace, Westfield just maybe a little bit.
Driving inside now is Braden Smith. Back out to the corner again now to Welch. They'll find the open man on the near side, hits the flange of the rim, and comes back out long range to the shooter, in that case, Benji Welch, the sophomore. And the rebound taken away, and the layup is up and good. Really staying with your shot that time, and a good effort by Zach Banks, who has half a dozen points right now.
Yeah, he stayed after it, and Westfield got some good looks, Banks. Their ball rotation was much better.
Banks with an 18.4 per game scoring average, with only 4 points in the first half, but an important bucket to begin this third quarter of play with 6:20 to go now in the third. Hamilton Southeastern running their offense, very patient, getting inside for the floater, and it's good.
You know, in that second period, Southeastern did a better job of getting to the free throw line, Banks. They were 4 for 5 for the first half.
We talked about Busilla not being in the scoring column. Jan got his first 2 points of the evening right there. Vinny with an average of just over 6 points per game. Loose ball chased down by Hamilton Southeastern. They'll head to our left now with 5:49 to go in this third quarter. Just getting underway, and another turnover.
Yep.
Here comes Westfield. Open look from the three-point area. Got it. Good-looking shot that time by Braden Smith.
Boy, his first 3, he's got 7. And just like that, Westfield's within 5.
Smith came into this game, he's a freshman, by the way, at 5'9", with 67 three-pointers on the year. He has 67. Caleb Welch had 58 coming into this game. Welch also had a three-pointer back in the first quarter. 5-point lead now for Hamilton Southeastern. 5:12 to go in this first half of this third quarter of play. Ball thrown away, and it'll belong to Westfield.
Yes, sir. I'm not sure that's the shot the Royals really want. As I really thought coming into this ball game that paint penetration would really be an advantage for them. Their shot selection at times has hurt them a little bit.
Interesting, Jen. Westfield has never won a sectional.
That's right.
They've lost 9 consecutive tournament games, and their overall record in tournament play is remarkably poor, 42 and 101. That's really, you have to go look at those numbers and say, I'm not sure I believe that. Baseline shot, right side, good looking shot again by Smith.
I'll tell you, that young man's got confidence right now, and he's just drilling him.
Second three-pointer of the ball game, 69 on the season, 30-28. They've chopped that lead from 8 down to a deuce at 4:20 to go in this third quarter. Inside to Majak. And when he gets posted inside, Jan, you can go ahead and rack him up on the board.
Yeah, they did a better job of threatening than just out with too much height.
13 points for him right now.
This young freshman's putting on a show right now. 8 for Smith, Big. He has 8 here in the third.
He has 12 in the game. He has 8 of the 10 they have scored in this quarter. And the clock just tipped inside 4 minutes. It will come out long range on the near side to Etherington, and we will get what they call a hell ball, I guess.
Yeah, the jump ball.
Possession arrow gives the ball back to Westfield. Substitutions coming in now for Westfield. Onto the court, Zach Breyer, a 6'4 junior, number 44, averaging 2.5 points and just over 1 rebound a game. 3:40 to go here in the third. Breyer on the near side. They'll set the offense up again. Braden Smith. Well, they're not getting much scoring out of Smith until this third quarter when he had only 4 points at halftime, but he has 8 already in this quarter.
How about Smith, the smallest guy and the youngest guy on the court?
And a traveling violation against Westfield. 3:22 to go on the third.
Freshmen aren't supposed to have tons of confidence and come in on a neutral court and act like he's acting.
Jen, you know, those days of where freshmen have to earn their stripes, those are gone.
Yeah, if you're a ball player, you're going to play, and that young man shows, and that's what you got to do. You've got to have confidence to show a coach that, hey, if you miss a couple, good shooters have short memories. They just do.
Well, Westfield started a freshman, Braden Smith, the young man you're talking about at 5'9". They also started a sophomore, Benji Welch, a 6-footer. Hamilton Southeastern pretty much, well, they started one sophomore. Benny Basilla is only a sophomore. And pretty much an upperclassman-laden ball club on the Hamilton Southeastern side of things.
Yeah, Westfield only has 3 seniors on their whole ball club. I believe Southeastern has 5.
Sometimes, Dan, when you're that young, you got to struggle through a 12-10 season, which is where Westfield is right now.
Yeah, and Westfield has struggled the last few years. This is one of their better seasons, and it was done with young guys. I'll tell you, the future for Westfield is bright, and what's really bright, they're only down by 2 with 3:16 left in this period.
I mentioned last year Westfield was 10-13, their 6th consecutive losing season. Long-range 3, deep right side for the 3-point field goal, and that was Benji Welch. And they'll get it back at the other end. First basket by, it's a 3-pointer by Welch, 59 of the year for him. Now with 9 points in the game.
Southeastern's got to find a way to get Etherington more involved in this offense, Big. The leading scorer has not had a lot of opportunity.
2.5 minutes to go now. The whistle will blow, and we'll get a foul called.
In fact, he hasn't even taken a shot in this period.
Foul's on Breyer for Westfield. And that is the first on the 6'4 junior.
Good rebound by Westfield, much better inside position. Oh! What a shot! Oh, they waved it off, Bank. They waved it off.
Well, it looked good from here.
Well, I thought so too. Official waved it off. I thought for sure it was good. official said too much contact long before the shot. So we'll go with the official.
So the foul will be on Benny Busilla. That'll be number 2 on the 6'2 sophomore. And Westfield will maintain possession under their own basket with 2:23 to go in the third quarter.
Still just a 2-point ball game. Westfield hanging in there. Southeastern really offensively kind of like they were in the first period.
Westfield led in the first quarter by 7 points. Hamilton Southeastern turned it around and led by 6 points in the first half. They've had the lead as high as 8. Now they're up by 2 with 2 minutes exactly to go in this third quarter. Three-pointer right in front of the bench, and they got it again.
They're too young to know any better.
Well, he's having a heck of a game.
It was Welch, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Benji. His first points.
Westfield with the lead. Minute 38, Bank. This one's getting interesting.
That is the 5th lead change of the game. We had 4 in the first half of this contest.
Southeastern's got to get the ball moving. They're just setting for these types of shots. This is not their offense. They are a team that loves to get to the free throw line, and they do that by driving. There's travel. Good call. Southeastern's really big, settling for just a lot of long-range jumpers, really not in the confines of their offense.
Returning for Westfield, Zach Banks. Banks had 4 points in the first half. He has 1 bucket here in the third quarter, total of 6 points now, with a minute 10 to go in the third. 36-35 in favor of Westfield, as they have come from 8 points down to regain the lead. Oh, backdoor cut, and what a good-looking shot that was.
Much better rotation. Got the ball to the middle, somebody cuts back on the baseline, and that was really good offense.
Landon Morris gets the bucket now for HSC, and the lead changes again.
47 seconds now. Let's see who can finish strong.
Here's Banks getting inside, can't get the roll. The rebound comes off to Hamilton Southeastern. Let's see how they want to play the final 35 seconds. They'll throw it inside, and the intended receiver was not looking and caught it right in the face.
Yes, he did. That hurts. Not laughing at him at all, because that hurts.
That was thrown into Cole Hornbuckle, the junior, and
yeah, that's a turnover Southeastern really did not need to have with this much, with 32 seconds now left, Bake. That was not a good turnover at all. They needed to keep the ball for the last shot.
Westfield is down by a single point. They've got the basketball. Let's see how they play the final 22 seconds of this third quarter. This is Caleb Welch. And we got a traveling violation. So a turnover gives the ball back to HSC, and they've got 13.3 to play with.
Caleb Welch has a tendency to slide that foot, and the official caught it again, and that time a turnover. He's got to keep those feet planted until he gets rid of that ball. Now, if you're the Royals, you got a little bit of a break here, Bake. You got to get a good shot. With 13.3 seconds left here, should be the final shot for them.
They'll come the full length of the court. As Jan pointed out, 13.3 to play. We're in the third quarter. Game number 1 of the sectional here at Carmel High School. And it has been a good first game.
Yes, it has. It really has been a good game.
Now the clock winds down to 3, down to 2. They'll take the 3, they'll miss the 3, and that'll be the end of the third quarter. After 3, did they get a foul call on that? There was some movement inside under the basket, Jan.
Well, here's what happened. I don't know if they got him for a foul. I'm not going to question the official, but I thought the smallest guy on the court did one of the best checkouts I've seen in a long time, and apparently the official thought it was way too much. And that's his call. Not saying it's right or wrong, but clearly a great checkout by Brandon Smith. I just talked about that. When somebody's so much taller than you got to get a body, and certainly he did. Official thought it was too much, and certainly that's his call to make.
Well, that'll be the second foul on Braden Smith, the freshman, who had a terrific third quarter. They put 0.7 of a second back on the clock. What he did, Jan, was kind of butted him out of there. It's really what happened.
I thought it was a good checkout, but the official was much closer. So 0.7, still time for a catch and shoot. You need at least .3. There's .7 on the board.
Let's see what kind of a play they've come up with. They'll get it inside and get the bucket. Now let's see, there's another foul going to be called, Ken, and this may negate the basket.
No, I think they get this on Westfield. Sure is. They're going to count the bucket.
The basket will count.
Yes. That hurt. This is a huge turnaround.
That basket, by the way. Well, the foul is going to be on Zach Banks, and that'll be 2 on him.
Give the bucket to Grubbs, number 20.
His first field goal since the first quarter, looking for the three-point play, and he got it. So that takes us through a little bit of a delay, but we finally got through the third quarter, and after 3, Hamilton Southeastern 40, Westfield 36. Fourth quarter coming up on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
You're good at you. You've been you for years, and we're good at your insurance. You're good at laundry basketball. We're good at your insurance. You're good at stopping the gas pump on a 00. We're good at your insurance. You're good at making funny face sandwiches. And we're good at your insurance. So start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Well, it took a while, Sam. We finally got that third quarter completed. And Hamilton Southeastern with a 14-point quarter. But Westfield had 16 points in the quarter. A lot of scoring. We were talking about the low scoring. They finally got it back up there.
Yeah, it was a pretty good quarter, really. Southeastern played a little bit better there at the end of it. Westfield, as you talked about, with their best scoring quarter here to date in that third period. And the Royals were able to come up with another 14 in that period.
Just kind of totaling up things here. 10, 20, 33, 40. Strangely enough, it totals up correctly.
Well, and really a storyline in that third period. The Royals only got to the free throw line there at the end. And he missed it, so they only shot one, and they missed it. They're 4 for 6 on the night.
Well, the leading scorer now for Westfield is Braden Smith, who had an 8-point quarter, 12 points of the game. 2 players in double figures now for Hamilton Southeastern, 13 from Mabor Majak, and Landon Morris off the bench now with 10 points.
Now, Southeastern, after that ending there where they got the lead, they should really work on building that. Let's see how Westfield responds. Not a good pass.
Turnover now. Here comes Hamilton Southeastern. Almost a turnover at the other end of the court now. Fourth quarter just underway. The winner getting Noblesville on Friday night of the second round of the Carmel Sectional.
Now let's watch Southeastern. When they get it to the middle here, Bake, that's when their best offense is produced. Westfield stayed in that 2-3 zone. As long as they stay within striking distance, they can stay in that zone.
And a traveling violation. They haven't had many turnovers in this game, and that's kind of expected because Hamilton Southeastern averages only 8.5 turnovers per game.
Yeah, another unforced, just shifted the feet. Good call by the official.
So Westfield will have the ball.
Westfield haven't scored for a while. They need to find some offense here.
Driving inside for the shot that's off the mark, and they're going to get a foul called, and they're looking right now at Landon Morris. And it goes on Morris, and I think it will. Yep, that'll be his first of the game. So nobody's in really serious foul trouble. 3 players on Westfield have 2 fouls. Here is Zach Banks at the line. Banks on the year, 76% from the free throw stripe. First time at the line tonight.
Westfield only shot 4 free throws before that one. Now they are 2 for 5.
Second shot now for the 6-foot senior. And 8 points now for Zach. That's 10 shy of his scoring average, though. 6:35 in the fourth quarter.
And Westfield still hanging around.
Yep, they are.
2-point ball game, Big.
You kind of get a feeling, Jan, this might come down to a final couple of possessions.
Westfield's exactly where they want to be here. The Royals have never been able to get that next gear and pick up that big lead.
Westfield led by as many as 7 in the first quarter of this game. Hamilton Southeastern came storming back and led by 6 in the first quarter. Now we'll get a foul called on Noah Smith, and that'll be his first. Hamilton Southeastern's big lead has been 8.
Boy, Etherton really struggling from outside. He needs to get that. He's got a great move inside, but he's really been kind of content shooting the 3, and he's just really struggled from out there.
So the Shamrocks have the basketball. Well, they'd like to get Banks into this game even more. He has only 8 points, an average of 18-4. He had 41 points against New Pal in a game during the regular season. He had 13 of 19 field goals in that game.
Oh, Banks with a 3-pointer. Boy, they're rocks now with the lead. Number 10.
So I mentioned it, and there he goes.
Yes, sir, right on cue. You love them when you say those things, Big.
Oh, yeah.
And they help
That's
out.
only his 15th three-pointer of the entire year, and he needed it because that's a lead change, and that'll be 7 lead changes in this ball game. And Westfield goes back in front by 1 at 41-40, and a traveling violation with 5:23 to go in the fourth quarter.
Boy, Westfield is just really flat right now. I think I'd go back to that full court pressure if just like remember we talked about, they got back in this defensively. They're going to have to do it again. Offensively, they're very flat.
Eli Patchett returns for Westfield. This youngster coming off the bench, averaging 2.5 points, has 9 so far in this game, including 3 3-pointers. And he only had 16 coming into the contest here tonight. 5 minutes exactly to play in this fourth quarter.
Westfield may not take another shot, Big.
Yeah, they have been good at.
Oh, yes, they will.
Yes, they will. Zach Banks will. We're just talking about how quiet he had been. 4 points in the first quarter, nothing in the second. 4 points at halftime, 6 points through 3, another turnover, and now he has come up with 7 points in the quarter. 13 of the game, and a timeout will be taken by Westfield. And we'll do the same. 4:47 to go in the fourth. 43-40 Westfield with the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Here's Oladipo for the lead. Indiana has the lead.
To all the Pacers fans in the stands, you are who we play for.
You make us jump a little higher.
Dig a little deeper.
What a block by Turner.
It really is. And play a little harder.
We're better because you show up to every game.
And together, we grow basketball here.
For ticket packages and more, go to pacers.com/tickets.
Back down with Carmel High School in tonight's game between the Westfield Hamilton Southeastern gangs. Logan Street Signs and Banners has been serving Hamilton County since 1992. They're conveniently not located on Logan Street, but rather South 10th in Noblesville. Visit LoganStreetSigns.com.
Nobody better than our friend Jim Wofford.
I just say, ask for Jim.
Absolutely. One of the best.
Because he's the only one there, so.
Go see my buddy Jim.
Our buddy
Jim. Take care of you.
He's watching tonight, isn't he?
Sir.
I'll guarantee you he is.
Hey, Bake, Southeastern's got to find some offense. Westfield, we talked about it. How does the team react if your coach is not here? They're playing loose. They're playing hard. And right now they got the lead.
4 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the fourth quarter of tonight's game. Noblesville awaits the winner in the opening game on Friday night. They'll lob it inside, and they double down and do a good job defensively, but somebody's going to get hit with the foul, and it's probably going to be on Cameron Simons.
Now, the good news for the Royals, they're going to the free throw line, and that's where you get to get back in this thing. Grubbs did an excellent job of posting up. That's a little bit interesting that Majak is still setting out. He has clearly been a mismatch for the Shamrocks.
That was the third foul, by the way, on Camden Simons. First free throw up and good.
Grubbs now with 5, 1 for 2 from the free throw line.
So both free throws are good for Chris Grubbs.
Grubbs, yeah.
Grubbs now with 7 points.
Yep, 7.
About 5 shy of his scoring average. Clock moving down to 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. 43-42, another lead change. Hamilton Southeastern back in front. Here's a turnover, and the ball goes back to HSE.
That's a tough one. If you're Westfield, you do not want to give Southeastern any spark at all, and turnovers are absolutely take your momentum away from you. Now, if I'm Southeastern, I go right in attack mode.
Hamilton Southeastern can score. They've been over 70 9 times. They had 90 points in 2 different games this year. Here's the layup, rolls off the front of the rim, and the rebound put right back up by Mason Brooks. And the lead stretches out to 3 with 3:50 to go in the fourth quarter. Hamilton Southeastern scored 95 points in the season opener against Muncie Central. They put 83 on the board against Webb School in Tennessee. An offensive foul will be called against Hamilton Southeastern.
You can't fault the effort out of the Royals because he went hard. That was just good defensive possession out of Westfield.
Gone Chris Grubbs offensively, number 1 on him. We're going to see Anderson in the second game tonight. Hamilton hung 94 points on Anderson back on the 12th of February in a 34-point win. So here we go, Jan. 3 minutes and, 3.5 to go right now.
Now you got to say who wants to win. Both teams not taking care of the basketball, and turnovers and unforced errors are hurting both teams right now.
Well, we mentioned both these ball clubs not having the kind of year they'd like. Westfield at 12 and 10. Hamilton Southeastern coming in here at 14 and 8 on the year.
A lot of frustration out of Noah Smith. He's trying to kick it in defensively, but just got a little too much physical contact there. He'll pick up the foul.
So the clock now begins to move again. It's down to 3 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the fourth and final period. Westfield in white, Hamilton Southeastern in the dark uniforms. HSE down by 3 on defense right now.
Bucket here by Westfield could be huge.
Basketball, Caleb Welch. Now the ball goes to Zach Banks. Banks having a nice fourth quarter. He had only 6 points coming into the quarter. Here's the ball blocked, but picked up by Westfield. Now we're down to 2:42 to go in the fourth quarter. Really tough defense employed by Noah Smith. Here's the long-range 3. Off the mark, rebound off into the hands of Hamilton Southeastern, and here come the Royals.
In my opinion, Westfield's got to be careful and try. You see yourself with the lead, and they're hesitating, not playing the game, and it's kind of haunting them a little bit here.
You start protecting it instead of doing what got you there.
Well said.
2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. 45-42 in favor of Westfield. Hamilton Southeastern has the basketball. They're going to go inside. They drop it off, and here's the layup. Up and good, and a foul's going to be called. The basket by Landon Morris.
Great ball reversal. Got the ball in the middle and a great pass. And got it in as a foul. That was great. Maybe as good as offense as the Royals has had tonight.
Fouls on Zach Banks. That'll be 3 on him. Landon Morris will go to the line. He's not a good free throw shooter, only 53% on the year, and short arms it, and the rebound comes off into the hands of Braden Smith, the freshman, and a traveling violation called against Westfield. 1:56 to play, and a 45-44 ball game. Westfield with the lead, and they just turned the ball over.
Boy, it's multiple turnovers now for the Shamrocks. If I'm Southeastern, I scored, I see what I can do pretty efficiently, I go right back to it.
And again, Westfield being coached by one of the assistants, Ken Hampton, tonight, as Shane Sumter, their regular coach, has been suspended for 1 game. A timeout has been taken by the Shamrocks with 1:56 to play in this fourth quarter. And the score 45-44 in favor of Westfield. Well, Jan, let's kind of recap things. Westfield got off to a terrific start, 15-8 at the end of the first quarter. Then, as you pointed out, the defense employed by Hamilton Southeastern got them back into the game. They led at halftime 26-20.
Yeah, I think here in the last few minutes, the Royals have moved the ball the way they can. And when they do, they make it look easy.
Both ball clubs got some offense in the third quarter. Westfield put 16 points on the board. Hamilton Southeastern put 14, and Hamilton led 40-36 after 3. Now, with 1:56 to go, it's 45-44 in favor of Westfield. You know every word to your school's fight song, but you can't remember your agent's last name? Let us know what you have and what you need. Find a local agent at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood. Jerry Baker, Jan Bozier, the rest of our crew, Brad Silbert patrolling the sideline, Will Wolford handling our video tonight, and Rick Vanderweilen executive producing as he always does. And Jan, we got a final couple of minutes here that's going to be hectic. I got a feeling.
Yeah, I think you're right, Bacon. Hey, Hal, what a nice game to start this section.
You betcha.
With.
You never know in tournament time.
Don't. That's what the beauty of tournament is.
Everybody is 0-0 starting out tonight's activity. Clock winds again, down to 1:45 in the fourth quarter. Westfield on defense. Hamilton Southeastern has the basketball. They trail by 1. Now the clock down to 1:35 to go in the fourth quarter. They'll bounce it inside. Good spin move inside, off the mark. Rebound, it goes out of bounds. It'll stay in the possession of HSC with 1:29 to play.
Yeah, but it's a great shot. You can't fault the shot. Grubb's really doing a great job of getting the ball to the middle.
And here comes the big guy back in. Big 7-footer, Maybor Majak. He had 11 points at halftime, added a field goal in the third. 13 points. His average is 8.7, and he's a force inside, and it went off his leg out of bounds, and the ball goes to Westfield.
Yeah, he got the ball down low, and it went off his leg. They may change him offense or defense.
He's going to go back out of the lineup right now. They'll continue to shuffle people in and out. Cole Hornbuckle will come back in. 6'4". 7-footer goes out. 6'4" comes in. In a hurry, Westfield. Now, what are they going to do, Jan? Do they just wait it out? Or do
I don't think you can wait it out. You can dribble yourself into a turnover.
Well, they turned down a shot with 1:10 to go now. The clock continues to wind down. We're heading toward the 1-minute mark in the fourth quarter.
They'd love to be fouled. That's what they're trying to cause here.
And how long does HSC wait before they do that?
Well, I don't think... It's only 1 point. You don't need to panic if you're Southeastern at all. Right now, it's still 55 seconds.
And they got him trampled, a double team in the corner. Really good defense at the time by Noah Smith, who jumped off his defensive assignment and got over and shut down the Westfield offense. So the clock will stop, 30-second timeout with 53.5 seconds to go, and Westfield up by a deuce 40 of second by 1:45-44. Hey fans, did you know IHSAA TV has a YouTube page? Over 500 past state championships, including the 1954 Milan game, and they're free to watch. This game and all future games will be posted. Subscribe today to IHSAA TV.
Well, Big, here's smart. Southeastern knows that Westfield is a little vulnerable with pressure, so there's no need to foul just yet. So they'll continue to pressure and see if they can't get a turnover. If they can get a turnover, that's what they want. Now, if we start getting down in the 20 seconds.
Okay, that was my question. How long do you go?
You got to foul at some point in time if you can't get the turnover.
Well, you would assume now that the coaching staff at Westfield has come to some sort of an agreement. Okay, this is how far we're going to let this, or Hamilton Southeastern, how far we're going to let this go before we go out and commit the foul.
Still early yet.
Here's they had an open lane to the hoop that time. Did Zach Banks? He turned it down. They'll bring the offense out again with 40 seconds to go. 40 seconds now in the third quarter, and there is your foul. There is the personal foul, and that is going to send Caleb Welch to the line. He is 1 for 2 from the line tonight.
And he's a 48% shooter. Good coaching on Southeastern. They still have fouls to give.
Check it. That's not there. The bonus not in effect as of yet, so there will be no foul shots taken with 40 seconds to go. They turn down the shot again, coming to their side to Braden Smith, the freshman. Now we're down to 30 seconds to go, and there is another foul being called. The previous foul, by the way, was on Grubbs, his second. Not that it's really a big deal right now.
That was a mistake on my part as well. I did not realize they weren't quite in bonus yet. They should have got that foul a little earlier, but still.
Well, now, Jan, they're in the bonus situation, which is really where they want to be right now, to be honest with you.
Well, the scoreboards say visitors and home, so you kind of have to think for a second. You know, Westfield and Southeastern, at least I do. I'm getting old, Blake.
Aren't we all? Braden Smith gets the first free throw. That's his first free throw attempt of the night. As Jan pointed out, Westfield has not been to the line very much in this ball game. This freshman, Braden Smith, is a 72% free throw shooter. That's his 13th point of the game, and it's the second one. And the rebound comes off to Hamilton Southeastern with 30 seconds to go. HSC hard to the hoop, the layup no good, and the rebound ripped out of there and put back in by Grubbs. Will it count? Yes. I haven't seen a signal yet.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he counted it.
He got it. Grubbs gets the field goal.
Well, let me tell you something. If Southeastern is able to pull this thing out, they can take number 20.
I mean, you talk about a muscular move. The 6'5" junior just simply went in and tied up his opponent. And that will be the third foul on Braden Smith. And now Grubbs goes to the line with a chance to give Hamilton Southeastern the lead with 23.9 remaining. We are tied at 46, the fourth tie of the game.
Big shot here.
They couldn't get it, but they got the long rebound into the hands of Noah Smith. Now, Jan, you play for one?
Absolutely. You play for the win here.
First thing we're going to do is take a timeout.
I think Etherington got a finger on it to tip it out.
We'll wait for the official. It's a full timeout, so we're going to take a break with 17.2. We are tied at 46 in the first game of the Carmel Sectional on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
For the first time in forever, I feel like us. I feel like we're back to that place where we know what each other's thinking and feeling.
You know, sometimes I think we don't have enough insurance. And then I think maybe we have too much.
This is no moment for insurance. Let us help you think about it. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Hey fans, a reminder, don't just hope you're covered in the event of an accident. Find agents in every Indiana county at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood. Boy, Jim, we couldn't have asked for a better way to start this 2019 tournament.
Now the Royals have a shot here, Vic. What they want to do is get a good-looking shot and give themselves enough time for a putback if there's a miss. So look for them to take a shot around the 5 seconds and 6 seconds. So if there's a miss, they have a shot at it, and Westfield does not. Got to take care of the ball first.
Well, let's see what. Now we're going to get another timeout. This time it'll be taken by Westfield.
Full timeout.
And both ball clubs now, you can almost hear the wheels turning over there. So as they take a timeout, so shall we. Tie ball game at 46, 17.2 play. And this is the first game of the sectional here at Carmel High School. This is the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Here's Oladipo for the lead. Indiana has the lead.
To all the Pacers fans in the stands, you are who we play for.
You make us jump a little higher.
Dig a little deeper.
What a block by Turner.
It really is. And play a little harder.
We're better because you show up to every game.
And together, we grow basketball here.
For ticket packages and more, go to pacers.com/tickets.
Well, we're back now at Carmel High School, and here's the situation. Westfield led by as many as 7 in the first quarter of this ball game. Hamilton Southeastern came back, took a 6-point lead at the second quarter. Hamilton Southeastern's been ahead by as many as 8 here in the fourth. And right now we are locked up with 17.2 to play for the right to advance to the state tournament.
If you're the Royals, you're right where you want to be.
Hamilton Southeastern in the dark uniforms with the basketball. Clock running down to 9, to 8, to 7, to 6, to 5, to 4, to 3, to 2. Here's for the win. Way off the mark. We're going to go overtime. Not really, I don't think, Jen, what they wanted was a 3-point shot from the wing.
No, not at all. In fact, I thought they waited way too long to start their offense.
So we shall move aside one more time and come back for the first overtime period. Tied at 46, 4 minutes to play in the first overtime of the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Checking the regular season records, Westfield did not play an overtime game during the regular season. Hamilton Southeastern played one. That was back on the 18th of January, a game at Zionsville. They lost 80-73 in overtime, so they're 0-1.
Southeastern only had
6 points for Hamilton Southeastern in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, 6 points in that fourth period. Yeah, each team gets another timeout to end the overtime period.
So, Jan, who does this favor? I got to think HSC. The momentum kind of went their way. What are you thinking?
Well, honestly, it just depends how they handle it here. When they have a tendency to go away with what got them, they stymie their offense a little bit.
Well, I did not like that final play,
no.
but having said that, you only get what the defense will give you under those conditions.
That's very true, but they didn't have a lot of ball movement. They had to settle for that, too.
Here's the three from the left wing. It's off the mark too long, and the rebound inside, and the foul is going to come on Westfield, and I believe they'll get Benji Welch. And again, nobody's in serious foul trouble.
Here's the problem with Southeastern.
Well, I beg your pardon, excuse me. They got Brady Smith. That is trouble. That's 4 on him.
If they move without the ball, they get a good shot. If they have a tendency to stand, they settle for long threes.
All right, we're in the bonus now, so it's a 1-and-1 situation for Noah Smith. 70% shooter, got the first one. Check it, that's not Noah, that is... It's so hard to read the numbers from our vantage point.
Yeah, dark numbers with dark uniforms, never easy.
It's Grubbs, Chris Grubbs, 68% shooter. He is now 4 for 4 from the line tonight, and 5 for 5. 6 points, first two here in overtime, and it's a 48-46 ball game in favor of Hamilton Southeastern. 3.5 to go out of the 4 minutes of the first OT period. Benji Welch, the sophomore. He's working out deep with Zach Banks, number 10. And on the far side, Caleb Welch. That's the threesome that's going to handle the basketball now for Westfield.
Westfield needs to get a good shot here. They're very comfortable shooting the three in their offense. You sometimes go, well, is that a force? No. They're a pretty good three-point shooting ball club. They like in their offense.
Yeah, there's one of them right there, and they got it, Jen. You called it. Zach Banks getting his second three-pointer of this ball game.
And the lead with 2:53 in OT.
He had 14 threes coming into this contest, giving him 16 on the season right now. Dropped inside, here's Maybach, and he got it. There's just Majek, there's nothing you can do about that.
See,
Jen.
Once again, great ball rotation, got it to the middle, that's what their offense is at its best.
That's 17 now for Maybo, the 7-foot junior. That is double his scoring average of 8.7. And again, they kind of shuffle him in and out of the lineup throughout the ball game. 50-49 in favor now of Hamilton Southeastern. They'll try the three again, and they'll get the three again, this time from Caleb Welch.
Well, I'll tell you, some shooters on this Westfield ball club.
That's 60 three-pointers on the season now for Caleb Welch, the 6'1 senior. Check at 61, that's 3 tonight for him. 2 minutes to play in overtime. Long range pass that got it out deep. Now they'll set the offense up again. with 1:50 to play in overtime. Driving inside, Smith missed the shot, draws the foul, will go to the line with a 1-and-1.
I always like offense when it's going towards the bucket, and that's exactly what Southeastern was doing.
Foul is on Zach Banks. That'll be 4 on him. So Banks and Braden Smith each with 4 fouls. They got him in the act of shooting chance, so he'll get 2 shots.
That's 4 on Banks. That's tough. He's got to stay in the game. He's hot hand.
Smith gets the first one. That's 5 points now for Noah. I mentioned there are 3 players on HSC scoring in double figures. Smith is one of them with an 11-point per game scoring average. He has 5 now. Leads the team in assists at 5.8. Leads the team in steals at 2.5 per game. And right now he's at the free throw line where he's a 70% shooter, and that was his first free throw of the game. Got them both.
Yes, sir. Those are huge.
Tie ball game at 52. Last time was at 46.
1:44 left in OT, Bank.
Westfield in no particular hurry to bring it up court. Both ball clubs have scored a half a dozen points in the first overtime period. Zach Banks, second of the ball club in assists with 2.5, leads the team in steals with just under 2 per game. They have gone to the outside for threes, 2 of them in the overtime period.
I think they get the big guy for the foul. Yep.
That will be the first on Mabor in this contest. And that will send Camden Simons to the line. He is not much of a scorer. He averages 2 per game, and he has not scored in tonight's game.
And only 56% free throw shooter. Not bigger than these right here, Bank.
9 for 16 coming into tonight's game.
I always thought if I hit a couple big free throws, people would forget about my percentage.
No. He misses the front end of the 1-and-1. And we're tied at 2 with 1 minute and 5 seconds to play in the first overtime period. Now, how does Hamilton Southeastern handle this?
Well, they're both in the bonus. You always want to have the ball in your hands for the last shot. A lot of standing right now for Southeastern. Remember, when they're moving and going towards the bucket, that's when they're at their best. Usually in about 10 seconds if you want the last shot.
Hamilton Southeastern as a team shot 47% on the year. So they're not an outstanding shooting team, but they are very good. And now they're really rolling all their dice. We're down to 30 seconds now. You put everything on the line for 1 shot.
I get Grubbs going towards the bucket.
I'm going to take it just like that, Jen. I'm going to set up somebody outside and just go hard to the hoop.
Yeah, Grubbs has been the guy that's brought him back.
Westfield set up in a zone now. They're just kind of daring HSC to take the shot.
10 seconds, gotta go.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. They're not even making a motion toward the hoop. Here's the 3 for the win. It's an air ball. It'll go out of bounds, and we'll go to the second overtime.
Wow, they had 2 OTs with air balls. Man, just not a good shot.
So as we get set for our second overtime period, we'll be back in a moment. We're tied at 52, Westfield and Hamilton Southeastern on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
For the first time in forever, I feel like us. I feel like we're back to that place where we know what each other's thinking and feeling.
You know, sometimes I think we don't have enough insurance. And then I think maybe we have too much.
This is no moment for insurance. Let us help you think about it. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Jen and I just got to checking our numbers here as we get set for the second overtime. IHSAATV.org is Indiana's premier destination to watch high school sports, including all state championships, with the website for a complete listing of games being broadcast around the state. Please check out the website, ihsaatv.org.
Well, I got to think if I'm Westfield, I got a few more lives here. They've lasted a couple overtimes, Meg. Southeastern's had their opportunity to close. Let's see if they can do it this time, or will Westfield find it in this third overtime?
So here we go now. Into overtime again. Here's a foul being called with only 3 seconds gone in this overtime period.
Grubbs again, going to the free throw line.
That is on Simons, and that'll be number 4 on him. So now 3 players for Westfield have 4 personal fouls as Grubbs goes to the free throw line. He was 4 for 4.
All these overtimes playing havoc on the scorebook here.
Yeah, aren't they though? We're still in the 1-and-1 situation. And he missed the front end of it, and they'll have the long rebound coming all the way back out. Here's the layup, no good.
Westfield misses easy free throw.
Banks missing the layup and is still down. Now he comes up court in a hurry to the right of your screen, setting back in. Long range shots of the demise of HSC here in this overtime period. Good looking move to the baseline, and it's Landon Morris.
And once again, great ball rotation. Got the ball to the middle. I know it's repetitive, but when they do that, they're pretty good.
Morris now with 12 points off the bench. Jen, he's really been a spark to this ball club.
Yes, sir, he has been.
54-52 in favor of Hamilton Southeastern. Third overtime period with 3 minutes and 12 seconds to play. Tied at 30-46 at the end of regulation. Tied at 52 at the end of the first overtime.
And get a foul.
It's going to be on Chris Grubbs. That'll be the third on the Hamilton Southeastern starting forward. And going to the line for Westfield, number 24, Caleb Welch. He is 1 for 2 in the game tonight.
Boy, you got to hit those. If you're going to finish out, you got to hit your free throws.
So with just under 3 minutes to go in this overtime period. Tied at 46 at the end of regulation. Tied at 52 at the end of the first overtime.
There you go.
And that's exactly what we thought they might do earlier, Jan. That is Chris Grubbs. Grubbs.
Now Westfield in a little bit of trouble
13.
here.
Long range 3, too hard.
If I'm Southeastern, I go attack, and if I do, I can get them down by multiple scores here. They're already down 4. It can go down to 6 or maybe more.
Down to 2 minutes and 15 seconds to play in overtime. Overtime number 2. And a foul way out high. And that's going to be on Welch, I believe. Caleb with his first foul. And that is the 10th foul now against Westfield, so we're in the double bonus.
I'm out Westfield.
And Bucilla's going to go to the line with 2, but first off, we'll get a timeout by the Shamrocks. And as they take a timeout, so shall we. 2:03 to go. Second overtime of the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
For the first time in forever, I feel like us. I feel like we're back to that place where we know what each other's thinking and feeling.
You know, sometimes I think we don't have enough insurance. And then I think maybe we have too much.
This is no moment for insurance. Let us help you think about it. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Gets you up to speed again at the end of the first quarter. It was 15-8 in favor of Westfield. Halftime, Hamilton Southeastern had the lead 26-20. At the end of 3, HSC had the lead at 4, 40-36. We were tied at 46 at the end of regulations. Hamilton Southeastern had only 6 points in that fourth quarter. 6 points by both ball clubs in the first overtime, tied at 52. And so far in the second overtime, Westfield, Jen, with nothing to show.
Yeah, Westfield has not been able to get any offense. For them, the three-point shot has kind of kept them in them and got them where they're at. But you got to live and die by that thing. They've not been real productive here in the overtime periods.
So as I mentioned, the 10th foul, we're in the double bonus. So from now on, HSC will shoot 2. First shot by Basila is good. Vinny's first free throws of the game. He's not a great free throw shooter either, 54%. As a team, they shoot 67%.
I understand that he has some relatives around the United States watching us tonight.
I'm sure he does. So he gets 1 out of 2, and with a minute 59 to go in the second overtime, it's a 57-52 lead, 5-point margin for Hamilton Southeastern. Now Westfield cannot, they got to run their offense, Jen, but they got to do it with a little bit of quickness, if you will. They'll get inside and miss the bucket from point-blank range.
Got to finish. That one really stings.
And a quick foul is going to be called on Zach Banks, and he's going to be gone.
Got to finish that one. That one hurts.
Banks has fouled out of the game. He, as I mentioned, their leading scorer, will leave the ball game with 16.
Well, he's a senior. 1 of the 3, and boy, I'll tell you, he had a really nice ball game.
So he is out. Benji Welch, a 6-foot sophomore, will come in.
Free throws can take you home if you're the Royals.
And Basila will come back to the line again. 7 points now for Benny. That's just above the scoring average of 6.2. Now a 6-point lead, that makes it a 2-possession. Free throw here makes it a 3-possession ball game.
And that really makes it big for Southeastern.
Got them both.
Yep, that's big. Westfield's got to get some quick shots here, Bake.
Yeah, they can run the offense, but you got to expedite things right now. You got a minute and a half right on the numbers. Right now, 90 seconds. Here's the 3. That'll get you back in the ball game in a hurry. That's Caleb Welch again. Welch has 2 threes in overtime right now. And 15 points of the night for Caleb, the 6'1 senior. It's right at his scoring average of 14.3. So, Jen, they needed that, but they're still going to get 2 possessions here.
Yeah, they got it down to a 2-possession game. Now you got to try to get a steal here. I don't think you want to get you don't want to get Southeastern back to the free throw line unless you just absolutely have to. You got to get a steal, get them a bad shot. If you can't force a bad shot, get the rebound. $1:22, you still got time.
Yet to come tonight, Fisher 16-7, taking on Anderson, the ball club at 7-16 on the year. And again, just to kind of get you caught up in this Carmel sectional, the winner of this game will come back on Friday night in the first game and play Noblesville. Noblesville's Millers a 13-10 team. The winner of the second game between Fishers and Anderson will play Carmel, the ball club that's 20-1 on the year, in game number 2. And then, of course, the winners come back on Saturday night. And by the way, just looking ahead on Friday coverage, the gang will be in Newcastle. They got a couple of games tonight. Muncie Burris and Hamilton Heights are playing, followed by Delta and Yorktown. Newcastle and Blackford waiting in the wings on Friday night to take on the winners of those 2 games. And then on Saturday, we're going to be heading down to Southwestern Shelbyville. Now, there's only 1 game down there tonight. Rising Sun at 10-10 against Morristown at 17-4.
Westfield's got to get a steal here, Big.
Full court pressure being employed now by Westfield. They can't wait a whole lot. It's a minute 12 to go, and there is the foul.
Yep, went for the steal, didn't get it. Your point's well made. A lot of teams, I don't think, in my opinion, handle this where they let so much clock go out they give themselves no shot at all.
That is on Caleb Welch. That'll be number 2 on the 6'1 senior. And again, the double bonus in effect. And right now, Busilla's making a living at the free throw line.
Well, the free throws will be the difference here in this second overtime period. If Southeastern's able to hang on this win, it's because they hit the free throws down the stretch.
Benny 5 out of 6 in the second overtime from the line. Yeah, that keeps it At a 5-point differential, still a 2-possession game. The ball is kicked away and picked up by Hamilton Southeastern's Aaron Etherington. Now you got to foul. You just have a choice. We're in just not ticked off inside a minute.
Don't have a choice now.
And the foul will be called on Westfield's number 24, Caleb Welch. That'll be 3 on him.
Well, your only hope if you're Westfield is if you can put the Royals to the line, but they've been doing what they need to do as a team. Southeastern is a 67% free throw shooter.
Grubbs gets the first of 2. Chris averaging 12.2.
Grubbs a 68% shooter from the line.
I've got him down now for 14 points in this game.
You're correct.
Season high is 21. Got 15 right now. Long range 3 off the front of the rim, no good. And I think
that's a mistake.
A big mistake turned in now by Hamilton Southeastern. A foul on a 3-point shot.
Well, here's what's wrong with that. Number one, last thing you want to do is to give 3 attempts. But more importantly, you stop the clock.
Foul was on Grubbs. And now 3 shots. The first one is up and good for Braden Smith.
That's 14. Let's take a look here. Here's the freshman, and that's not a good foul. That's just one you don't want to do.
Smith averaging 12-8, has 14, and missed the second one.
Still 2-possession game.
This young man, only a freshman, Jan. He really ignited this ball club in the third quarter of this ball game.
He absolutely did. His shooting, and he got some inside as well.
So he gets 2 out of 3.
Got to foul pretty quick now.
47 seconds remain in the second overtime period.
Got to get a foul, Westfield. There you go.
The foul's going to be on Smith.
Yeah, if you're the team behind, you don't want to let too much. You just got to keep clock around to give yourself a shot.
Now the bad news is Smith is out of the game. With a 15-point effort, that is season high 25, so he is gone, fouling out, becoming the second, along with Zach Banks, to foul out of the game for Westfield. They will bring in Jarrett Bailey, a 6'2 senior.
Well, I'll tell you, that freshman put on a show here at Carmel. He really did.
He did. He's going to be he's kind of the future of that franchise right now. Noah Smith at the line. Misses the front end.
Still 2-possession game. Southeastern needed to get this in a 3-possession game. Still, they have everything in their direction.
Well, if he makes this, it's still going to be a 2-possession differential. Smith, 70% for the line. Missed them both. And it'll go out of bounds and belong to Westfield. So the Shamrocks now still have a shot. 38.6 remains in the second overtime. 62-57 in favor of Hamilton Southeastern as they go on defense, and a beautiful defensive play that time, and it'll be out of bounds to belong to Hamilton Southeastern.
Nice block by the Royals.
That block was by Brandon Morris.
We're going to talk about it, Meg.
He leads the team, second on the team with block shots with 27, none bigger than that one.
Officials talked it over, Meg, and they decided the back official saw it from a different angle, and they talked about it and gave it back to Westfield.
All right, so the Shamrocks will get it. Not a good inbounds pass, and it's still being tipped around. Here's the three-pointer in the air that's an air ball on the floor, picked up by Westfield with 21 seconds to go, and a quick timeout taken by the Shamrocks.
Good timeout. Westfield was in trouble. Coach called immediate timeout. Westfield called the timeout. And it's the full. Yeah, Westfield calls the full. You get an extra full each overtime, and Westfield calls the full timeout.
All right, so just to reiterate what the situation is, it's still a 2-possession game, and the clock showing 20.7 to play. And we are at 62-57 in favor of Hamilton Southeastern.
Westfield really have struggled getting the shot off. They didn't necessarily have to have a three, but they're really making, they being Southeastern, are making it really difficult on Westfield to get a shot off.
Well, Jen, they still don't necessarily have to have a three.
No, they don't.
But somewhere in this mix, they've got to get a three or find a three-point play somewhere in there.
Get your best shot right now.
Well, what a way to start the tournament. Double overtime game here at Carmel High School.
At the end of the day, Westfield has to have 2 shots. So get what you can right now.
They will inbound from beneath their own bucket. Caleb Welch will inbound. They have position number 21, Jarrett Bailey, who just came into the ball game. He gets the inbounds pass. Well, they just can't wait much longer. They'll go to Bailey. He will throw it away.
Yeah, that's good pressure by Southeastern. This last minute or so, Southeastern has really made it difficult for Westfield.
LaVinci Welch will come back onto the court now for Westfield with 12.7 seconds remaining in the second overtime. They'll get it across the line. We're down to 7, down to 6, and it looks like that Westfield has kind of waved the white flag. 2 points, seconds, and that's it. And the final score will be Hamilton Southeastern 62 and Westfield 57. So Westfield now will finish the year at 12-11. Hamilton Southeastern lives to fight another day with a 15-8 mark, and they will go up against Noblesville. The Millers at 13-10 on the year, and that'll be the first game on Friday.
You can't say enough good things about how hard Westfield played. They made this a game down the stretch. Southeastern hits the free throws, and then their defense closed the deal. So they lived, as you said, to play another day.
And wait for Brad Silver to hopefully get a comment from the winning coach. Nice little crowd. It picked up in attendance as the game went. Let's go down to the sideline. Here's Brad.
Hi, everybody. Brad Silver along with Coach Brian Satterfield. Brian, it took 2 overtimes to do it. What were you telling the kids there toward the end of the game and in the overtimes?
Well, I mean, the start of the second half is sort of like what the start of the first half was. We dug ourselves a hole. We didn't make good decisions, didn't hit shots, but you got to give our guys a lot of credit. We got down and we dug ourselves out of the hole. We still had some opportunities to finish it, and at the end of regulation, the end of overtime, we didn't do it, but we didn't let that affect us. And then there in the second overtime, we finally took care of business. And, but you got to give them a lot of credit. I mean, they came out there with the situation they had to deal with, coach not being here. I mean, hats off to them the way that they came out and battled tonight.
Tough situation for the Shamrocks. Good night for the Royals. It'll be the Noblesville Millers Friday night. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, Brad, thank you. And again, Brad was talking with Ken Hampton, who is one of the assistants on Shane Sumter's staff. And Shane was declared ineligible for tonight's game because he picked up a technical foul in the last game of the regular season. Jen, I don't know that had any impact on the game, but it's always a difficult situation for a team, especially for the players, even though they have seen Ken at every practice. He's been there, and for the most part, the assistants do a lot of the running of the practices anyway. But it does have a bit of an impact.
It has to have, but let's call it what it was. Westfield was able to really compete and make it a game. And hey, at the end of the day, they had some shots to put this one away and just couldn't finish it, but boy, they played their hearts out.
All right, let me give you quickly the scoring for Westfield. They had 4 players in double figures, 16 points out of Zach Banks, 15 each out of Braden Smith and Caleb Welch, and 11 from Eli Patchett off the bench. Nice ball game. 3 players in double figures for Hamilton Southeastern, led by Mavor Majak with 17, 15 from Chris Grubbs, and 12 points for Landon Morris. And your final score again, Hamilton Southeastern 62, Westfield 57 in double overtime. So we'll get out of here for a moment. and come back and set up the second game, which I don't think it can be much more exciting than this.
Yeah, it's going to be tough this one, but on a neutral court, you never know.
Fishers and Anderson are coming up as we take a break now on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana